And welcome to another exciting episode of The Energy That Surrounds Us. I'm your host, Michael, joined, of course, by the awesome, the talented Carla.
Hey, everybody.
So, before I introduce our guest, I have a special announcement to make. For tonight, we are live on radio at etalk.tv. So if you go to that website, you can also watch us there. Well, I say watch, but you can listen to us there. And they occasionally replay episodes. So welcome our network, and we're happy to be on the radio. So with us tonight is a man of many talents, especially when it comes to equipment. He's your go-to guy, the one, the only, Justin Sutter.
Yay!
Hello. Thanks for having me.
Oh, we're glad you could come on.
Yeah.
So you're the other half of Lone Star Paranormal Research.
Yeah,
So-
Kellen's sidekick.
So how did that come to be?
Well, we met at what's that place called in Granbury? The jail.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if y'all ever been there. We were doing events there, and he lives in Austin, so he had to drive all the way from Austin to Granbury. That was like the first time we met, and we kind of, our investigating style is pretty similar, almost the same, and I don't know. And then shortly after, COVID hit and just shut down a lot of investigating. So I keep trying to remember if we formed before or after that. I think it was around that time, but he had this idea to form a Lone Star Paranormal, and I pretty much consider it his because it was his idea, and he actually put in like the money to trademark it. So yeah, that was a big kind of investment for him, and but I joined along, and then just kind of hit off from there. Just get along well, because I've been with people who we don't get along, and that's not fun whatsoever.
Nope.
It's just like, nah, I'm just tired of investigating with you. This isn't fun anymore.
I've had enough now.
Time
much
to move on
drama,
to greener
personnel.
pastures.
Yeah.
Well, Justin, one thing I will say though is I would never consider you a sidekick.
No.
Exactly.
I appreciate that.
So,
Out of that.
what got you into the equipment side of paranormal investigating?
I think just basically I'm not one of these people that can, they say like, I can sense something, or there's somebody standing right there, and I just kind of looked over and I was like, I don't feel what you feel. I don't think the way you think, or I know some people are very in tune with their feelings, and they trust their instincts, and I really don't think that way. Kind of like my process of thinking about things is more, I guess, scientific. So that's why, if we have the equipment, it's a little bit easier for more people to validate and to digest, because you can generally show them something like, hey, look at this, it's it's the EMF or whatever, and you can kind of explain a little bit better like why it's happening, rather than somebody says it and then you kind of have to trust them, and half the time you're kind of thinking like, is this person crazy? Are they actually feeling it?
Yeah.
Right.
And no offense to those people, but it's it's one of their frustrations is that it's hard to validate what they feel without something backing it, whether if it's a piece of equipment going off or an EVP or something like that.
Something tangible a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel for them, because, I've worked with people like that, and it's frustrating for them, but it's, I don't know. I base all my experiences with the equipment, and yeah, that's this is kind of it.
Well,
So
I've seen you guys as a team at, for instance, Old Park Hotel, and very impressed. You work very well together, and your technology background is just amazing. I mean, short of sitting there and taking notes on how did you do this and what did you plug into that and how did you make that work and stuff. It's pretty
Yeah,
fascinating to watch.
I guess I don't really think about it as much, but I'm used with the old group I was with. We used to carry like all the DVRs, and I figured out how to put like a channel switcher, and we plug in like 8 voice recorders into one, so you can like actively listen to it. But oh my goodness, it's a pain to set up. That's the
Yeah.
bad part about the equipment, is just setting it up and bringing it with you.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess going back to the chemistry we kind of have.
Hmm.
We think the same, and
Yeah.
it's just yeah.
You work very well together. Very, very well.
So, of all
Yeah.
the locations you've been on, how do you decide what equipment to take and use?
um I think we kind of have like a general formula, like it's standard practice to take in something like an EMF reader, and because some buildings don't have like a I say like a solid my cat might jump up on the desk, so if you see her, but or my brother's cat, sorry, but some of these old buildings don't have good insulation for electricity, which can give off a lot of EMF. And I mean, that could possibly explain some things. So you kind of want to establish that baseline before you go in, because you don't want to be doing a session and then all of a sudden the equipment goes off and you're like, oh, wait a second, hold on. It's because of the wiring. It's not because, for whatever reason. Some of it too is if we've been to that location before, there's the cat, but but hey, get down. But so and kind of going back, we'll probably get into it, but we did Yorktown this past weekend actually, and we had an experience there like 2 years ago. We caught one of the doors slamming, and so of course we were like, we got to see if we can catch that door slamming again, and so we put a camera on it, put some equipment, and the cat's knocking down the camera. He's about to hold on. Give me a second here. Oh wait. Oh,
That's funny.
see if she'll probably jump up here again. But yeah, we managed to capture it again. Actually, we might have captured 3 doors slamming. So that was pretty awesome. But
I saw that. That was amazing.
so there's what I said. There was the stuff we normally do, like standard operating procedure, and then if we have experiences based on the location, and there she goes again. But or we just show up and we're like, all right, well, what do we want to do? And we'll figure it out from there. And
Right
she's like,
on.
okay,
She
lay
just
down.
wants to be in your lap.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's not really the affectionate one.
What's her 15 seconds of fame?
Yeah. Yeah, she'll like attack the mouse too on the computer screens. It's probably what she wants to do.
It's probably because we call it a mouse.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just looking at the screen like that, following it.
So I did want to ask you, because you were kind of starting going down this path. Just for people listening, when you go into a location that you've not investigated before, do you go through and do like a walkthrough first to kind of rule out where there might be electrical interference of some type, or
No.
water dripping through pipes,
Well, if
or
the cat
whatever?
stepped on something.
We can still hear you. Can you hear us?
All right, what happened? Oh, it hit the mute button on my.
Oh.
Sorry.
Were you able to hear the question?
I think I got some of it.
It was basically when you've not investigated a location before, do you do initially a walkthrough just to try
Mhm.
and identify where there might be uh, electrical interference or water going through
Yeah.
pipes or whatever?
Oh yeah, definitely, and then especially back when I used to do residential cases, so, and based on what they would tell us, uh, just kind of like, for example, we had a guy who in his living room he used to say, like, I feel like people are watching me all the time, and it's really unnerving.
Mm-hmm.
And we were kind of looking around during the walkthrough. We got our K2s and whatever. We noticed there's this giant fish tank behind him, and that thing, fish tanks give off a lot of EMF, like refrigerators and other appliances. And if you get enough of it, it kind of causes like a fear effect, kind of,
Oh,
triggers that,
Right.
you're getting watched kind of feeling. So we just told him, like, just move your fish tank and you'll be fine. And like, that was it.
can you imagine
I mean,
hearing
kids don't,
that? Just move your fish tank.
yeah,
Well,
often
I can
explainable.
say I would not have thought EMF from a fish tank, but you're right because it's got the motors to keep the water
Yeah.
going.
Aerator.
Yeah. And refrigerators and,
Yep.
stoves. So, I mean, I guess I'll mention this too. That's one of the reasons it's important to kind of know the equipment and kind of know the environment is, for stuff like that, you have to know what could potentially trigger it. So
Yeah.
that was probably the best things that I got from, doing private investigations is learning stuff like that. I don't think a lot of people know stuff like that or they even
You're
think
right.
about that.
Yeah.
Right.
You're right.
But you go to these older locations, you usually don't have to worry about refrigerators or fish tanks.
Well, like
You know,
Yorktown,
they,
you
yeah,
know.
exactly. There's no
Yeah.
electricity
Right.
besides like the long extension cable, but that's about it.
Yeah.
So that's great. You don't have to worry about like interference there.
Hmm.
Right. So, one question I have for you, I want to preface with could you let everybody know that's watching or listening to the show locate some of the locations that you've been to?
I guess I'll start in order here. So like the first like real haunted location I went to was Waverly Hills. Not for like an overnight stay. We went in like 2012. We were like on vacation there, but then eventually we got to go back a couple of years ago and actually investigate it for real. Down kitty. But did that, and then there's the Parker House in Denton. I don't know if y'all have ever heard of that.
Mm-mm.
It's like the haunted. It's a haunted attraction that I could give y'all the story for that. But it's a Parker House. There was a church that we used to have access to in Glen Rose. I don't know if you can still get into it. It's White Church. It had some of the craziest paranormal experiences there.
What was it called? White Church?
White Church, yeah. But there's like I think they lock it up at night now. Because people like us used to go there.
That's it.
Or no, somebody used to charge to go there. Let me
Oh,
rephrase that. But
yeah.
there's Bernard's Hills. I've been to Black Swan Inn in San Antonio.
How was that?
Obviously, uh, yeah. I went with a big group, and you go with a big group, and it's
Yeah.
not the same,
Yeah.
and you only have access to the first floor. because the owners live there, and they live on the second floor.
Is that kind of like the Magnolia?
No,
Or
Magnolia, you have access. I found out after I was there, you have access to the first level and second level, not the basement, and the owners live off to the side.
okay. Yeah.
But the reason I was asking where he's been is because I was going to ask him, what's your favorite place that you got the best evidence from?
The anticipation.
Looks like he froze up again. His,
Were you asking me if my favorite place to investigate?
What the
what
best
favorite
evidence?
where you've been? What's your favorite one that you've had the best
Wait
evidence
for it to
from?
unfreeze again.
You're unfrozen. We can hear you and see you moving.
Okay, y'all are freezing up on me, so I
Oh,
guess I'll just talk. I'll just talk through it. I think I got the question. It was best place, best evidence, and
Yeah.
best. Probably the most insane. Well, this is eyewitness. I didn't catch it on camera, unfortunately, because the camera was panned down too far. But yeah, our luck. But is that White Church, that place I was talking about in Glen Rose, and it's completely dark, like it's pitch dark, and there's some
Is it
people
easy
in.
to get into?
Oh yeah, it's just a single building. I
No, I
just don't.
mean like um
It's a public cemetery.
okay.
so
So
you
can you
probably
just
You
have
go
just
to
in
get.
there?
Yeah, you just drive up to it.
Okay, so you don't have to like call in advance or anything?
I think we used to let the sheriff know we were there,
Oh,
just
just
to
in
let him.
case? Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know how they. Like I said, they put up a sign now that they don't want people after dark. But I don't know. I don't know. Maybe if you call them, they might.
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't tried it. But
Okay.
anyway, so there's some people in the front of the pews. They got a K2 meter, and it's so dark. The little lights from the K2 meter are shining up on the ceiling.
Oh wow.
And I remember like looking around, and then somebody at some point was like, "There's a hand on the ceiling," and we look up, and there's an imprint of a hand on the ceiling, like perfectly outlined hand on the ceiling, like opposite of the person, holding the K2. And we're like, "What the heck?" Freaking out. And did we catch that on video? And I was hoping I did, but the camera was panned too low. But because I'm not expecting things from the ceiling. But
Right.
So was the hand a reflection of what was close to the meter, or was the hand
it was like
acting
somebody.
like it was grabbing the meter from the ceiling?
It's like if I was holding the meter,
Yeah.
somebody was standing across from me. It's like they had their hand just
Oh, okay,
hanging
got
over,
it.
just like that,
Yeah.
basically. And it was, like I said, it was perfectly outlined.
God, that'd be
So
wild.
because we tried, doing the same thing, and there's like three different light sources, so you get like three different like projections of a hand,
Sure.
and that
Wow.
was. Oh, actually, I'll throw this in as a bonus. So, same place. So there's no windows there; they're all boarded up, and we were setting up, and we just set a camera up. We're about to walk outside, and all of a sudden, we just hear like someone banging on the window, and there's people outside. So we just assumed like they were just scaring us.
Yeah.
So we go outside, and we're like, that's was real funny, guys. And they're like, what are you talking about? I was like, you didn't bang on the window? It's like, no. So we go over to the window. There's this giant bush in front of it and a bunch of tall grass. And we found rattlesnakes there. So it's like, no one's going to be bold enough to climb into a bush for, a joke like that.
Right.
No.
So
That's
that was pretty
crazy.
freaky.
Wow.
Let's see, but favorite location? I don't know. Maybe Old Park's got it.
Yeah.
Because we go there and you can usually get consistent stuff. Like sometimes you go to a place and just nothing happens, but I feel like with Old Park, you at least get one thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, Old Park
You
is
gotta
one
get
of those few locations that you pretty much will have an experience of some sort guaranteed. That
Yeah.
you're not going to
Yeah.
leave with the night of nothing happened.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever had nothing happen each time I've been there. There's always been something.
Yeah, definitely. And
Yeah.
excuse me.
Especially now that they throw in the jail.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I don't know if I don't really think I've had much experience at the jail. Well, usually we go as a group, and it's kind of hard to tell, like, what happens. Or I think we've
Yeah.
heard knocks.
Yeah. One time, I think it was in January, I was there. I think you didn't end up coming. I think Kellen was there and Chad was there, and we all went over to the jail Saturday night. And Chad and I were in the cell where they say the fire happened. And all of a sudden, it's like I wanted to delayer. I could just feel sweat just coming
Oh yeah, like the heat.
profusely. And I was like, why is it so hot? And then we realized we were in the fire cell. And then you step out and it's like instantly cooler. And you're like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Allergies. Yeah, but that's a coincidence. Excuse me.
Yeah, allergies suck. I got to give
Yeah.
you kudos for coming on.
It's bad this year for sure.
Yeah, I can still talk, so it's normally the sleep that gets me. Not being able. I actually got one of those like sinus things. You like stick in your nose and it shoots saline up your nose.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Oh, those things are great. It's like a water slide for your nose. It just
Yeah.
And then it even has like a little reservoir so you can see all the crap that's been in your nose, and you're like, no wonder I couldn't breathe.
Oh, isn't that like a neti pot type?
Yeah, it's like a fancy neti pot kind
Yeah.
of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Justin, we have our first question for you from the chat group. Joshua Dixon asks, are you associated with Wraith Hunters?
I've never met the Wraith Hunters.
Now,
I'm
there
not
is Texas Wraith Hunters and the Tennessee Wraith Hunters, which they're
Yeah.
no longer known as Tennessee Wraith Hunters. So I'm not sure which one of the two he's talking about. But so while we let's see. Oh, Joshua's in Florida, and he says, yeah, allergies are crazy in Florida too. So, yeah, I don't think there's anywhere you can go that's not affected by allergies.
Yeah.
So, while we're waiting, and I think he's about to unfreeze, but
Yeah, I'm unfrozen.
okay. Yeah, he's asking about Anthony Sabellos' group. Texas Wraith Hunters.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever met Anthony. I
So
don't know. At this rate, we'll probably cross paths at some point.
Yeah, I would think
yes.
so.
So how long have you been in the paranormal?
My first investigation, I think it was 2018. That was the Parker House, and that was the one that really kicked it off. It was like an event on Facebook, and I showed it to my brother. I was like, "Yo, we should check this out," and it all started from there.
Wow.
We did
So
more events.
yeah, earlier you
Yeah,
mentioned you had history on the Parker House. Do you want to share that now?
yeah, so I believe the history was, back in the day, when family members would pass away, they wouldn't, they keep them at the home, and
Mm.
then somebody would have to watch them. But you could also hire somebody to do that, so like birds and critters wouldn't get to them. Basically, they keep them until it was time to bury them. And I believe the lady's name was Kay Parker. I'm not sure how true this was, but she would dissect the bodies and sell the organs. Yeah, pretty
Wow.
messed
Pretty.
up. Just a little brief history.
Yeah.
That's
So something of historical note too is back in like the 1800s, early 1900s, a lot of people were getting buried alive. So they would pay people to sit with them for a couple of days before they went in the ground to make sure they
Oh
were
yeah,
really dead and not in
what's
a coma or sleep paralysis.
heavy sleep? Yeah, wasn't there one they would like tie a bell and a rope
Yep.
down?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not
Yeah.
making that up.
No.
Yeah. There was like a famous saying that went with that. Like, so, I forget how it goes, but it was like tied to the fact of you didn't want, if you heard the bell ringing, you had to hurry. Oh, for whom
Yeah.
the bell tolls.
Oh, right.
That saying, when they talk about when you're
Like the
dead at the bell tolls, that was to tell
like
you
the
you had to
Ernest
hurry up
Hemingway
and
novel.
survive
Yeah.
them. You got somebody alive but 6 feet under. You better hurry up and get them.
Yeah.
That's
Not gonna
crazy.
last too long without oxygen.
No. So what is next for Justin? I mean, I know you're with Lone Star, but you go and do stuff on your own too, don't you?
Uh, not as much. Like like I couldn't tell you what we're doing right now. I mean, I know I pitched Kellen a few like locations, and he's trying to get them worked out. But I don't know. We just kind of take it as it comes along.
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
Just for right now.
What
I know we're
what makes you come up with a location? I mean, is it just sit and brainstorming it, or do you see something that makes you go, "Oh, that looks like it'd be a really fun place to go"?
It could be that. It used to be, people would invite us, but that doesn't really happen anymore. It hasn't happened in a while. Some of it, we'll go with John John.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we went to Yorktown. Or we might go to events and try to make connections with people.
Sure.
So it's a little combination of all that stuff. I guess the location I kind of discovered. Well, I didn't really discover it, but it's in Wichita Falls, I think. It's called the Kell House,
How do
and
you
I'm
spell that?
familiar with that one.
yeah, so at that house, there was a bride who was there. It was her wedding night, or the day of her wedding, and she fell down the stairs and broke her neck on her wedding day. So people say that they see her there, and I think she's buried by the actual like Wichita Falls too, and
Wow.
her statue's known as the crying statue because at some points people say that the statue's crying.
That would be something to see.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I don't know. But hopefully we could
It's called the
work that
Kell
out.
House.
Yeah, I think so. Kell.
Okay.
I gotta admit, Justin, when you said Wichita Falls, I thought you were gonna say the sanitarium that's up there.
Ooh, I've not heard about that.
Oh, it's been, I forget what the name of it is, but I know every time I look up haunted places in Texas, there's always like this white building sanitarium that's referred to in Wichita Falls.
You have to look that one up. Google.
Yeah, put that in the memory bank.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What
So,
made you? I know that you said that you got your start in like 2018. But what? I mean, have you always been kind of interested in the paranormal, or what got you even interested
Watching
in the field?
TV with
Yeah.
Ghost Adventures. There used to be this show called I think it was the most haunted places on Earth. They
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
would actually take families and bring them to like they used to call it Hunadora Castle, but I think it's now called Cordova Castle, places like that.
Mm-hmm.
And they would split them up, and they had to find each other, and they'd give them like POV cameras, and it'd like really freak them out.
Wow.
So just imagine going to like Waverly Hills, for example, and with like your family, and they split you up, one person on the first, second, third floor, and then you had to find each other, and they'd usually give them like objectives at some point. Like they'd have to do like a seance or something. Or I think in the Hunador Castle one, I mean, thinking about it now is kind of ridiculous, but they left Dracula's medallion there, which
Really?
I don't think. I'm thinking about it now is like, why would they do that? But they
Yeah.
dared one of them to pick it up, and of course, once they did, the activity just went crazy. They're like, yeah, we're gonna put that back.
Wow. So it's kind of like a paranormal escape room type
Yeah,
adventure
kind of.
thing.
And I will admit, sitting here hearing that, I was thinking, man, that would be a great fun activity as a team to do before an investigation. Go
Yeah.
somewhere and everyone has to run and find each other.
Hide some clues or something. That would be something. Yeah. So you said you've been to Waverly a couple times. How's that location? Yep.
I think we froze again.
Yeah.
Fun thing about, internet with storms and stuff, weather, you never know what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
But I think he's back.
Did you hear the question?
I love how it's like you see him move slightly and then it like freezes again. There he goes.
I'll just do this the whole time, and then
Tell us about Waverly.
so I'll tell you my brother's experience. First time we went, this was 2012. We did like a 2-hour walkthrough, and he said that they were on their way back with the guide, and they just saw like this huge blob, and he describes it as the creature from I don't know the creature's name from the Nightmare Before Christmas, the sack looking guy.
Oh.
Oh, yeah, I know who you're talking about.
I've heard Waverly's not really as exciting. Yeah, well, we went with a big group, so when you go in a big group, it's not as exciting. We went with like maybe 30 people, and
But it's a large place.
it is pretty large. Trying to think. trying to remember I think Kellen saw the nurse, if I remember. The nurse on the 5th floor
Right.
where she
Mhm.
supposedly hung herself.
So, are there
Like that.
restrictions? Because I mean, when you look at it, it's so massive. Do they just keep people in certain areas, or do they really let you go throughout the whole
We
building?
were able to just go wherever.
Really?
The only real restriction was the rooftop. There's that little building, and then there's like a line.
Man, I'm thinking the spirits don't want us to know about Waverly.
It, other than that, it's like 5 or 6 floors, plus the death tunnel.
Yeah.
How's that?
That it's pretty exhausting because it's massive and you use all your energy to get down the thing, and then you're like, well, we might as well spend an hour down here because now we got to
Yeah.
walk all the way back up.
Oh wow.
Yeah, we did a full episode on it on our YouTube channel.
I have to go check it out.
It's like, I think the first one we ever did.
It's always been on my bucket list. I haven't went yet.
Yeah, it's cool, especially now that all that drama's over with.
Yeah, I'm glad.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you would recommend Waverly. So I'm kind of curious though, what made you as a vacation decide Waverly?
Also, so it was part of it. We were going to Pigeon Forge, Tennessee,
Mhm.
and we know where Dollywood is. And
Yeah.
I was
Right.
like, how close is Louisville? Plus, we have family in Louisville, so we were like, we get a chance to see them. And I put the idea out there, like, hey, if we're gonna be in Waverly or Louisville, let's check out this place. And
Hmm.
I think my parents were like, what? And then they looked it up, and they were like, because I wanted to do the overnight stay, but they were like, no, we're gonna do the daytime tour, where we can see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, just throwing that suggestion out there.
Yeah. Joshua says everyone says the guy that took care of the crematorium is creepy or by the shed or something like that.
Crematorium. Crematorium. Let's see, I'm trying to think. Oh, that's on the first floor. Uh, I think actually you'll see it in the episode 2. I think the morgue.
Hmm.
Kellen actually went.
Oh no. It's right at the good part of the story.
I know. It's like,
We
come
eventually,
on.
and
Say
then
it again.
he went to
Uh-oh.
he was at the morgue,
Uh-huh.
and he actually put himself in the what is it, the drawer thing that they
The
put
other.
Yeah.
bodies in. And we left him alone there for like 10 minutes, and he kept hearing noises outside. So he went out and checked on it, and he caught a door opening, slowly on its own.
Nope.
Oh.
It was like, and it was around that area, I think.
Hey, look who popped in. Anthony. They were asking about you earlier.
Ears are
Oh, there he is.
burning.
So, being that you've gone to places like Waverly, Yorktown, the Nazareth, Fort Walters, Old Park, I mean, such an extensive list. Where is left that you were like really wanting to go? Like a bucket
Just a
list.
few places. You kind of have to think like, I don't know. I'd like to go to Cordova Castle, but it's like, is it possible to get in? Do they let people go in? And I think like Goldfield Hotel, where they filmed the first Ghost Adventures.
Hmm.
And then there's the Winchester House, and that'd be cool.
I want to do the Winchester too.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Clown Motel. Actually, my nephew he watches a lot of the paranormal stuff, and he's like, you got to go to the Clown Motel, and he makes up a lot of stories too. He's like, this one time, me and my friends, we went to the Clown Motel, and I was like, so you're telling me he's 7, by the way, but
Oh, okay.
he's like, you're telling me you and your friend went to Nevada? Okay. And then we'll call him out on it. He's like, what? He's like, yeah, that's what I thought.
Out of the mouths of babes.
Oh,
I
Bob
will
Mackey's.
say, I thought it was interesting how I'm sure I don't know if you saw Destination Fear at Winchester, that they had the idea to go pitch black and all they had was their IR cameras.
This
And
doesn't
I
sound
was
good.
like, of all the places, that is not the place to go pitch black.
Yeah.
The place that's made to confuse ghosts.
Yeah.
Stairways,
Stairs.
nothing.
Well, and there's also the fact that you can open a door and it'll go to a 2-story drop from the first level down to like the
Yeah,
basement.
that's
It's like, why are you going dark here?
yeah, not too bright. But yeah, someone's going. He watches the Sam and Colby on YouTube, and kind of knows that too. A lot of like Dakota and Nick Groth are going to YouTube, which is I think great.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're not tied down to like a producer, influencing them.
Yeah. I think they're going to be much happier for sure.
Yeah, and it's not like we've been here for 4 hours and haven't gotten anything. Throw a rock or something, or make the trimeter go off again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Turn on those radios so we can get those K2s going.
Somebody put some batteries in that RC car, make it go.
No, but I will say, of all the paranormal TV shows, though, I give more credence to like Destination Fear,
Mm-hmm.
only on the grounds of on one episode where they called out a ghost and said, make a noise, and they made it. The ghost, of course, makes a really loud knock, and they go screaming, running out, and then the next thing you see is Dakota comes in and goes, okay, we have to apologize. We asked you to make a noise. We ran out. We're sorry. You did what we asked you to. And I was like, I thought that took a lot for a TV person to admit they did that.
It's like, aren't you supposed to stay there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, you chase it. I'm trying to think if I had a moment where I was just like, nope, and then turned right around.
Have you ever had something happen where
think.
you were just like,
Shoot, I'm trying to think.
See, I'm thinking if you approach it like a normal person and you're just wanting to talk with the spirits, they're not going to start like slamming doors and throwing stuff at you to like chase you out of the house. They're gonna want to sit and chat because they're like, hey, we got someone to chat with.
Yeah, just let you know that it's like, hey, I'm here. Now that I thought about it, White Church.
With
we
the
were
hand?
like, well, this is a different story. This is probably the most that I personally freaked out. But so right in the middle of the pews, like we're just sitting in the dark, and then all of a sudden, I see this black mass coming right at me. And so, like, I shined the flashlight. I was like, what the crap? And I stood up, and everybody starts screaming. And then everyone's just like, why'd you freak out? I was like, this black mass was running at me.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to sit there and calm when something's coming at you.
Yeah. And then I'm like, did I really? Yeah, I saw that.
Wow.
And one of the problems I'm sure you come across is like when you have a dark mass starting to form in front of you in the pitch black, it's like you want to say something, but you know you can't because everyone that's around you is going to shine their lights on it,
Yeah.
and then it's going to dissipate and disappear, and you're like, oh, I wanted to know what was coming.
Or like,
Oops.
I want you to ruin the moment there.
So you cut out for a second. You said or like, and then you said we'll ruin the moment. So we missed
Oh,
the middle part.
or you'll mention like, yeah, we were doing that. I saw this mass, and then everyone's like, and you didn't say nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't want you guys to ruin it.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Anthony says you need to hunt with us. We won't let you run.
Strap me down to a chair.
I was just gonna say that. That was my visual.
No,
Anthony,
you won't.
I honestly have to say, if I wanted to run, I don't think you could stop me. If something scared me to the point that I'm running, I don't think you're gonna stop me from getting out.
There's a will, there's a way.
Yeah.
Be a Michael-sized hole in the wall.
Hopefully, I would stop and go for the door.
Yeah. Hopefully it's unlocked, otherwise it's coming down.
Yeah.
So what else do you have coming up?
Couple weeks we're going to Ballinger with Meet the Ghost Bros.
Oh, I'll be
I think
there.
Michael's doing that.
Yeah, we'll be there. Probably just to mingle around, and I want to say this summer we might be traveling somewhere. I can't remember the name of the location. It was still kind of planning phase. I think it's somewhere in like Ohio.
Oh, really?
So that would be fun. That'd be, our kind of ghost hunting trip.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, how many states have you investigated already?
Obviously Texas, Kansas. We did the Masonic Temple in Kansas.
The one in Salina?
Yes.
That's on my list.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. It really unique location. It's like 6 stories, and then Kentucky. I think it's about it, actually. Louisiana, because we did the Bonnie and Clyde, where the shootout happened.
Oh, and Gibbsland?
Yeah, we did an
Yeah.
event there with Stormy Daniels. Yeah, that was kind of interesting. We had I won't mention their name, but we were doing a EVP session there, and one of their standard questions is, "Who's the president?" And of course, Stormy was there. She's like, "Who's the president?" And she's just like, "Why are you asking that?" And then I was about to nudge her, like, "Are you trying to get us kicked out? Like, what are you?" She's like, "Oh crap! I'm so sorry. That's just my standard questioning." And I was like, "You got to read the room."
Because, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I want to cancel the whole event.
Oh.
Have you ever been to Myrtle's Plantation?
Ooh, I've heard of it. Is that in North Carolina or is that in
No, that's in
Louisiana.
South Louisiana.
St.
Louisiana?
Francisville?
I was thinking Myrtle Beach. Oh, but
Myrtle
Completely
Beach would
different
be fun.
place.
I don't know if we'll catch anything. But
Yeah. Why are the beaches never haunted?
this is a good question.
Like, why
Maybe
can we
they are.
never go to a beach and say we're on a paranormal
I
investigation?
don't know. There's a lot of hauntings around lighthouses.
Can't we go to a 5-star hotel?
But that's a good place to go if you guys ever get the chance.
Myrtle Plant. Excuse me. Myrtle Plantation.
Myrtle's Plantation.
St.
Oh,
Francisville.
yeah.
It's near the Gothic jail
Well,
in DeRidder. Well,
it's a couple hours away from it, but it's in St. Francisville. It's just
we got,
north of Baton Rouge.
yeah, we got. Maybe put that on the list.
It's a good
yeah.
one.
You can rent out and stay in the main house, or you can get cabins, or they have a place nearby.
Mhm.
Oh,
But
heck yeah.
we found out they have a restaurant there, but when you book your room, you got to make your reservations for dinner.
Oh, at the same time.
Mhm.
Yeah, we kind of find out you can't walk up the day of and expect to get reservations.
Yeah.
Sounds
But
like a
just
popular
down the
place.
street from that place is an awesome pizza place where you can go and just bring it all back. So we did
Yeah.
that.
You can have pizza in
There's
the
always a
courtyard.
backup plan.
That's right. Yep.
Just in case the backup plan fails. Oh, that reminds me of another place we went to, Bowers Mansion, Palestine.
Yes. We're getting ready to go there on the 20th of
Yeah.
May.
That'll be my
Have y'all
first
been?
time.
Oh, that's a pretty neat place too.
It is. Did you
Oh,
stay in
hey.
the little carriage house?
Why isn't the beach haunted? It's probably the best. Oh, that was Kellen.
Kellen. I think that's Kellen.
Yeah, it is.
is.
But no, because the person we went with, they didn't book the carriage house, so we drove there, stayed a
Yeah.
couple hours, and then we drove all the way back.
Got it.
Plantation Inn.
Plantation Inn in Crystal River.
Must be
Very
writing
haunted.
stuff down.
Where's Crystal River? So is that in Florida? Because we're throwing places out, folks, and we're in Texas. So if you could please throw out a city or state to go with it so we can find it easier, that would be most helpful.
I think it is in Florida.
Oh, he says he saw his first cryptid there.
Wow.
I got it on my second screen here. Yeah. Crystal River, Florida.
He says, yes, Florida.
Is that close to St. Augustine?
Let me Google Map here.
That's a good question. I'm not sure.
I would love to go there too.
St. Augustine is awesome.
Yeah.
I spent a couple days there. That is super cool.
It's on the west. Looks like the west side of the peninsula.
Oh,
Yeah.
Is it?
Near Tampa Bay, I wonder.
West Coast.
It's North Tampa Bay.
Oh,
or
okay.
Tampa.
I don't know. To me, if I'm going to be in Florida, I'm going to try and do as much as I can.
Yeah, plan it out.
That's right.
Yeah.
This night here, this night there.
That's right.
So, fun fact is you can, for a day, travel from Jacksonville to the Keys and back to Jacksonville and still be in sunlight.
Really?
So,
Where's Jackson?
Jacksonville is on the north side.
Yeah, I've got maps up, so I have a visual represent.
Perfect.
And Key West, you can see the Florida Keys, the Key West, down
like the islands.
Tip. Yeah, the islands. I was there, and we drove from Jacksonville to Key West and had lunch, and drove back, and it was still daylight. And we were like, "Wow."
That's what I mean. If you're going to go, start putting all your locations and connect the dots when you're done.
Yeah. Actually, speaking of that, when I was in Europe, like our first night in Lithuania, it's north of a little bit north of the hemisphere.
Mm-hmm.
So we get there, and we don't know like when the sun goes up and down. And our first night there, like the sun didn't go down till like midnight.
Whoa.
And then like all of a sudden it's like 5 a.m. and the sun is like bright and early. Like we thought we overslept, and we're looking at our watches. Like it's only 5 o'clock, and the sun is already just like way out.
It's lunchtime.
Yeah, that'll mess with you. It's like we get 4 hours of night.
Wow.
Wow. So, speaking of Europe, are there any places in Europe you'd like to go investigate?
Definitely Cordova Castle, which is in Romania. That's the. I don't know. It's not Dracula's castle. Oh, that was the castle Dracula was imprisoned in, I think.
Wow.
Right.
Because it's not his actual castle. That's like somewhere else. And then I used to know some places back when, Ghost Hunters International was a thing.
Mhm.
Yeah. They went to a
This-
lot of cool places.
Yeah, they did.
yeah, there's got to be some cool castles and a lot of history over there.
Mhm.
Yeah. So, Anthony says he's going to go investigate Waterburger.
Sounds like someone's hungry.
Let us know if you find any ghosts there that aren't from the food.
You figure out why the drive-through takes 30 minutes to get your food. What happened to this number 5?
That's right.
Oh, wait.
Oh,
I
Kellen
know.
says the Loftus House in Ireland.
That
That's
would
a
be
good
cool.
one.
Oh, but I think I was thinking about that one. Shoot. Is that the one, like, the guy lives in? And trying to remember off the top of my head. I can't.
Pavlovia Island. Is that what Joshua was talking about?
Oh, no, he's listing off. He wants to go to Pavlovia Island off the coast.
God, I'd love to
Oh,
go
is
to
that the
Italy.
one?
It
There
has all
was.
the dolls.
I remember there's an
think-
island off the coast of Italy. I think it was like a prisoner's island.
Yeah, lots of
It was
dolls.
a
he said.
prisoner's island, and it was also earlier in history during the plague. It was a plague island where they would take
That's what it was.
the
Okay.
plague victims and all bury them. So yeah, send dolls.
Yeah, that's Polgilia.
Pavagolia or something.
Pavagolia?
Pagolia. It's close to Pavlovia, but no, there's a G in it. I'm not up to date on my Italian to pronounce it correct.
Megliano.
Yeah, it looks like it's over by Venice.
Right.
Yeah.
Is it Pomigliano?
Poveglia.
Pavagolia, I think. Pavagolia or Pavolia. But yeah.
Get your rowboat.
The gondola.
And then isn't there also an island in the Mediterranean that's got like it's pretty much bones all over, and it was mentally ill ward, and you have to get now the island to give you permission to go there.
Who knows?
I know there's another one where it's like, man, Joshua says yes, there is one like that. There is an island. I have a friend who's been there, and he busted his ankle up pretty bad there. But
Yikes.
so time wise, Justin, we're at an hour and 2 minutes. Actually, I just noticed going on to 3. With your allergies, are you okay to keep going, or do you want to stop and get some rest?
Yeah, probably. Is there anything that y'all wanted to hit real quick?
No, this is
Hit
all
all
you.
Hit all the topics we wanted to hit.
Yeah.
Well, I guess one question I would ask you is, what's your favorite equipment and why?
Not sure if I have a real favorite. The most common I use is the EMF. It's probably maybe because I don't know. Maybe I understand it the most. It's just the one that I use the most. Let's see. Excuse me. I would be curious to try like the Envoy. I don't know if y'all have seen that. It's like the Go Stop one,
Is
but
that
it
that new one they built?
Yeah, that sounds
came
like
out a
it's a
couple
new
months
one.
ago. It's expensive though.
Yeah.
I don't know, and probably a good old voice recorder. That's
Yeah.
always a good one. So I don't know, maybe I'd probably say a voice recorder. That one's usually underappreciated
Yeah.
and it's
Yeah.
simple.
Yeah.
So I just thought of a question, Justin, that would be perfect for you, and I'll kind of make this the last question for you. For someone who is a basic beginner of paranormal investigating, was to come up to you and say, "What equipment do I need to paranormal investigate?" What would your answer be?
First one I'd say is a voice recorder. I know some people, I don't know, I don't like the apps, the free apps on phones.
Okay, so yeah, I have to agree. Voice recorder, I think, is underplayed because you can walk around with it a lot and get a lot.
Yep.
And hopefully he'll unfreeze here and we can see what else he suggests. Or
I don't know if
yeah, you kind of froze
we back.
out. We got voice recorder and that you don't like. He froze again.
We should probably let him go. He's not feeling that well.
Yeah.
I know I'm about to take some shots of NyQuil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we sure appreciate having you on.
Yes.
Yeah. I
I
appreciate
do
y'all
hope you
having me
get to
on.
feeling better.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I hope so. Hopefully it's not like strep, but I
Yeah.
don't know. Luckily, this is online.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, cool.
All right. Well,
But,
All
thank you for
right.
coming.
thanks for having me.
Thank you so much.
And we'll see y'all. You say you're coming to Ballinger?
I am.
Yep, probably see you at Ballinger then.
Yep. Looking forward to it.
Thanks, Josh.
All right. Have a
Appreciate
good
it.
night.
Have a good night.
Yep.
All right. Well, that was a fun episode.
Yeah, it was. I took a lot of notes.
Yeah, I was surprised at some of the stuff he was talking about. Even I hadn't heard of before.
Yeah, but see,
So,
those are the places that are really, really cool, the obscure, you'd never even know they were there type places.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the cool experiences he's had.
Yeah. Definitely have to have him back on.
Definitely. And maybe have him and Kellen at the same time. That might
Yeah, that would be good, especially after they get done doing some of their traveling investigations and have them back on later on in the year.
I think he said Ohio, so it'll be interesting to see
Yeah.
where they went in Ohio.
And so next week we have
Alexa Costa.
Yeah, she'll be our guest next Tuesday night. It'll be fun.
It will be.
Mm-hmm.
So, any investigations, anything coming up for you?
Just Bowers next month, Bowers Mansion and Palestine.
I'm totally looking forward to that.
Yeah. And then We have a girls' investigation going on at the Old Park Hotel the beginning of June. 14 ladies taking up the jail and the hotel. I can't wait.
Oh, God help us. It'll be interesting to see what experiences you guys have.
Yeah, I think it will be too. Nothing but women.
And little teaser for all of you that are fans of the show that we will have an episode on our show all about the experiences of what happened
Yeah.
on the girls' weekend, which
Yeah.
will be real interesting for me because I will have nothing to input.
That's right. We're going to start doing that more and more where we can show what we've done, where we've been, how it went,
Yeah.
the craziness that is us.
You know, in theory, since it's the girls' weekend, why don't I just give you the show and I don't even have to show up? No,
Teach me how to do the controls and then we'll be good.
no, I'll show up. I like to support you guys.
Yeah. All right.
All right. Well, to all of our fans out there and on the radio, thank you all for watching and listening to us. We want to thank our networks, the Paranormal Unity Network, I said that
Unity.
wrong. Paranormal United Network, Paralinks. There's Parapost and etalk.tv. So thank you to our networks. We so appreciate you guys giving us the space to have our show.
Yep.
And from our show to yours, to all of you out there, have a good night. And if you're investigating this weekend, be safe, have fun, and make sure you catch your evidence.
Have a good night.
Good night, everyone.